Owens, but she also got a lot of people that hate her. There's rumors that Patti LaBelle been trying to reach out to Candace to let her know that she need to calm down all this stuff she been saying about Charlie Kirk. D.L. Hughley allegedly reached out to Candace Owens, and Jay-Z, Beyonce trying to get in touch with her because these new blogs she's doing, leaking this private information that nobody should really know about, got black people scared for Candace Owens. We done already seen enough bloodshed with the Charlie Kirk killing. Now it's looking like it's a possibility, allegedly, that Candace Owens might be a target. Y'all need to listen to what D.L. Hughley had to say. Listen to this.
Now let's watch this together.
Whenever, this is just my assessment of, when I hear a white guy tell me how much he loves Christ, I wonder who he hates more. Because it wasn't a mess of love and togetherness. It was separateness. It's superiority versus inferiority. And it amazes me how when Jesus was sitting with Lazarus, when Lazarus was asleep, and he was sitting with I forgot her name. He was with her, crying with her, even though he knew that he would wake him up 5 minutes from now. Like he knew, but that's empathy. The very tenet, the very core of Christianity is empathy. Loving your neighbor, not yourself, not people in your tribe. And they bastardize almost every aspect of this. They've taken terms and twisted them to mean something that they don't. He was a white nationalist who said horribly incendiary things about virtually everybody. If you didn't have his worldview, if you didn't see the world like he did, you were on the other side of it. I think that you shouldn't die for that. But unfortunately, that has always been the history of this country. So I don't have a hard time holding these two ideas.
That's a direct warning to Candace Owens because she say a whole lot of stuff that people don't agree with. She in the same clique with Charlie Kirk. People accuse her of spewing the same rhetoric. And if people was mad at him enough to the point to where they wanted to take his life, to where they did take his life, Candace Owens need to be more careful. But there's black people out there praying for Candace and praying for Charlie Kirk. Y'all need to listen to this.
Heavenly Father, I am praying for Charlie Kirk, family and friends all across this nation. We do not always understand why tragedies like this happen, but we know you are a just God and nothing escapes your sight. Lord, when our hearts are crying out, why so much pain? We cling to your word that says, you will make all things right. And I pray, oh God, that we will see him again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. We some praying ass people. I love it, man. I love the fact that my people stay prayed up in the name of Jesus. Even for Charlie Kirk, even for Candace Owens. I hope don't nothing happen to the sister, but if it do, best believe the evangelist Pentecostal churches across the world is going to say a prayer for her and her family. Shalalaboka. Praise the Lord. Even D.L. Hughley is reaching out, hoping and praying that Candace Owens don't get caught up in no bloodshed. Because we don't want to see no more murder. She going on and on for Charlie Kirk. But she wasn't so favorable when black people lost their lives. Y'all got to listen to this.
We're actively helping our boyfriends move drugs, which is what Breonna Taylor was actually doing, trailing her, that her name was on the warrant when they showed up at her place. Everything the media told you was a lie. The police officers had every right to be at her property. They had been monitoring that property for weeks. They were moving drugs, and Jamarcus Glover was the person who was at the center of it. You were told that the police officer shot her while she was asleep. No, she was standing in a hallway. It was not an accident, okay? She was knee deep in drugs. They fired first. They shot a police officer, and I shouldn't say the redheads get something, right? You know, they're the true minority that nobody talks about. Ariel, who had beautiful, long red hair. It was actually one of my favorite movies. I was a big Disney child. Nothing can be left as it is, and they are now producing a mermaid movie in which Ariel is black. It's not common for black people to have red hair. It is, in fact, a Nordic trait, but they're going to make her black because everything must be black. I want to come out and say that I do not support George Floyd and the media depiction of him as a martyr for Black America. I have spent a considerable amount of time reading a lot of Black authors, Walter Williams, Shelby Steele, Thomas Sowell. I recently came across something that was an idea that was planted into my head by Shelby Steele. It is something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And it is something that I hope for the Black Americans that are watching will stick with you for the rest of your life. The Black community is unique from other communities. Our culture is unique from other communities. We are the only community that caters to the bottom denominator of our society.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
So you can see why the left loved that clip and why they're now calling Charlie Kirk, who I worked for and with for years, an avowed racist. He says that that's going to be his first thought if he sees a black pilot. You know what? I said the exact same thing on this show. I remarked that now when I even am watching a commercial and I see a black person, and a Hispanic person, and an Asian person, my thought process is, did they just get this because DEI?
The actually worst thing to be in this society.
Man, they need to put her in the underground bunker. She might be worse than Charlie Kirk because she black. And she regurgitating the same things that he been saying. Now D.L. Hughley got to come out as not only a king in his own right, but the king of comedy. Got to speak on serious matters that ain't nowhere near funny because Candace Owens is thinking this is a game. She playing in traffic and don't even know it. She probably need to deactivate everything she got going on just until this died down because there's people out here furious. They feel like with her still in the game, Charlie Kirk is still out there, man, and rest in peace to him. Hopefully D.L. Hughley can get through to her and a whole bunch of other people out there. Listen to this.
My head at one time. I think was a vile human being, and I think you shouldn't die. But imagine if that was the standard or that was the predicate for killing somebody, I think anybody would be alive. But I think he shouldn't have died for that. But lionizing him, you're lowering the flag. Even if Charlie Kirk had been alive when that school shooting that happened at the same time, he would have thought that those lives were worth it. He thought, and very clearly, he thought that the gun laws were too tough. He thought they should have been relaxed. So he died the very way, protecting the very thing that would take his life. And I don't believe in karma. But I do think it's interesting. He wasn't killed in New York or LA, or he wasn't killed in Baltimore or any of the cities that they constantly hold up as whipping boys. He was killed in one of the whitest places on earth and by someone that looked like him. You can tell, let me tell you something. You know who it was because you know who it wasn't. When 3 words let you know when the black guy, Utah and at large. So I think it is a shame that such a young man was capable of such acrimony and vile speak. That's the saddest part to me.
That is some sad stuff, man. I must say, like D.L. Hughley said, it's an American tragedy. And we seen worse things happen in this country. But there's people that spewing hatred out there that's getting taken out left and right. So the smartest thing to do for everybody out there is to spread love.
First bit was what I would call the sort of moral and theological case. Hughley establishes that Kirk's ideology was not just politically toxic, but a perversion of its own stated religious beliefs. He uses their own book against them to prove the hypocrisy. Now, in the next one, we're going to move from the spiritual to the political. And in this truly breathtaking monologue, Hughley becomes a prosecutor, putting America's entire gun culture on trial and using Charlie Kirk's own words as the star evidence. Take a listen.
How do we know what he was? Like, we don't even know. And here's the thing. I guarantee, now I don't know who he was. I certainly don't know what his motivations are. But I do know this. I bet he was a white guy who could have a gun legally, and he was a good white guy with one of those guns. Who makes guns easier to get in a country so angry and so divided? Who insists on propagating more guns? Who insists on protecting gun lobbies? Who insists that we are safe enough and that the cost of freedom is the lives of American citizens every single day? Who owns that? It's really simple. We shouldn't have such unfettered access to guns. We shouldn't be so callous about them. Even Charlie Kirk's own words said that it was acceptable to lose American lives as long as they got freedom to protect the Second Amendment so they can protect it. What other right is more important than the right to life? Like, what other thing are you saving up for that the Second Amendment is going to protect you for other than the sanctity of life? What does that mean? I guarantee you, if you committed abortions with a gun, it would be a whole different thing, but that's not the way it is. They don't care about lives. It should be an abomination. If you can't tell me political speak didn't kill that man, somebody with a gun did. And it's easier to get guns in America than it is Sudafed. And you tell me the problem is what somebody says has nothing to do with the fact that they have the apparatus to commit acts of violence. They have apparatuses to do it. They could walk around in many states with guns and unfettered access to them. And you think it's just words? Words didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Somebody with a gun did, and somebody with a gun that people like him and people on the right made it easier to have and to possess and to stockpile.
Speaking of the Second Amendment, here's Charlie Kirk.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. So then how do you reduce? Very simple. People say, oh, Charlie, how do you stop school shootings? I don't know. How did we stop shootings at...
Is that, this may sound harsh, but this is the world that he created, that he helped to create, the reality.
Listen, what is it? Proverbs 18:21. Life is death is in the power of the tongue. He said these things. He laid his life at the altar of the Second Amendment and see, the problem is he didn't think, nor did they think it would happen to one of them. He didn't think it would happen to him. But it's fine when school kids are dying. It's fine when people are getting shot at synagogues. Look at, they tried to put a bomb they burned down where the sitting governor of Pennsylvania was sitting, was with his family. Was this kind of outrage? They have tried to assassinate the president.
Do y'all see what's happening? They're making D.L. Hughley the new leader of the black community. So when he talk, people gotta listen and pay close attention because he's the only one that's willing to have this conversation about blackness, except for the one and only Dr. Umar Johnson. People, hold on, get this together. So we got D.L. Hughley and Dr. Umar Johnson, the only people that's speaking out about this type of stuff. Listen.
And Dr. Umar, I don't hate black people. I've never hurt a black people. I don't belong to the Ku Klux Klan. I don't belong to any group who has as its focus the destabilization and destruction of black people or the black community. So that may be true. That may very well be true. But that does not disqualify you from being a racist. See, being a bigot is not the same as being a racist. When you are a bigot, you are emotionally connected to the belief that Africans need to be exterminated. When you are a bigot, you are emotionally connected to the belief that Africans are inferior. When you are a bigot, you are emotionally connected to the need to destabilize, hurt, and harm black people. Conscientiously in your daily life, you have to call the N-word. You have to make racial jokes and slurs when you are a bigot. I didn't say every white person was a bigot. I don't believe every white person is a bigot.
This should let everybody know that it's beyond race at this point. Because Charlie Kirk got taken out by another Caucasian male. People putting themselves in a line of fire for absolutely nothing. I'm talking about black people. This is the point where people need to ease back into the bushes and see how this thing play out. But you got black people jumping out the window. Candace Owens, for example, making herself a full-fledged target when this ain't even got nothing to do with black right now, but people still want to feel included regardless of what the situation is, man. Just like black people celebrating every holiday, even if it's not an American holiday, people just want to feel included. This is a white-on-white situation. For once, it's usually black on black or white on black that get black people involved, but this ain't got nothing to do with black people. But you got people out here jumping all in the way, and it can get dangerous for people of color, people making themselves easy targets with all of this. Look.
Now, interesting enough, this hasn't been the only black woman or black person to make headlines for supporting Kirk and Trump. MAGA supporter Danielle Carter Walters just last week was strongly encouraged President Donald Trump to send the National Guard to Chicago. And now, more recently, when it came to Charlie Kirk, Walters would make an effort to defend some of the things Kirk had to say about the black community. According to her, Kirk wasn't lying and that black people need to stop playing the victim.
To see people get on here and celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk is disgusting. First, to see people who didn't even follow him, didn't even know who he was until he died. To see people who never even listened to anything he said, not one debate, but to share and repost things that's taken out of context. Now, let's be very clear. It's what they always do, like they always have done. They take a sound bite or they take a clip of what you said and they put it out there. 99% of the things Charlie Kirk said, I agree with him totally. Especially when he talked about the black community. What did he say wrong? Anything you all can tell me that he said, especially about the black fathers not being in our communities, especially, and it's glorified. Especially about the amount of funerals we're having, the killings and the death and the black on black crime that we have in our communities. Especially when he said we celebrate people who don't even mean us any good. We celebrate Sexy Red. We celebrate Meg the Stallion. We celebrate these people who promote violence, who promote single motherhood, who promote victim mentality, who promote death, everything that's killing us in our community.
It is noted that Walters, who happens to...
Yo, man. See, this the point where you gotta play a nigga. And sometimes you gotta do that, man. You shake your head yes or shake your head no, but in times like this, you shake your head no and keep it moving. And that's your best bet, especially when it comes to politics, man. You gotta know how to play the nigga card just to keep people from being offended. Just imagine being in a barrel of crabs and you trying to make a go for it. You know they gonna snatch your ass back down. Even if it is right, it don't matter. Either you down or you not. And that's a terminology that always mess with me. Being down with somebody or down with a group or down with an organization or down with OPP for all the old heads out there. Why the fuck would you want to be down with anybody? But that's common slang. But in situations like this, I'm down with y'all. Whatever she talking, I ain't down with that. Whatever Candace Owens talking about, I ain't down with that neither. Regardless if it's the truth or not. You gotta pick a side, especially when you black. People afraid to leave comments in the They don't know what they want to be down with, man. People watching the video, they terrified because Charlie Kirk mastered Charlie on the screen. He ain't even alive. Y'all gonna have to decide what y'all gonna do. Like I said, whatever she talking about, even though I agree wholeheartedly, I ain't down with that.
Also be the vice president of the Chicago Flips Red organization, has actually directed her frustration at Hughley in the past, as she would call for Hughley and others alike to be canceled back in 2024.
We need to cancel D.L. Hughley. We need to cancel Roland Martin. We need to cancel Steve Harvey. We need to cancel Plas. Everybody who tried to lead us into a burning building.
So let's talk about it more in the comments below. How do you feel about black people defending Charlie Kirk? And what specifically has he said that you think people should identify him as a racist?
So it's looking like we got two different races when it comes to the black culture. You got black men, and then you got black women. There's a difference, man. And somebody need to distinguish this shit. And it's a lot of men, black men, that decide that they'd rather be black women. It's men that jump ship. They feel like they gotta choose. It's that much of a line. It's that much of a divide to where even if you a man, you got, cause I mean, at least with women, there's more unity with black women than there is with black men. Shit, we be at each other's throats all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? And women feel like, you know, they be at each other's throats too. Regardless of how you want to cut it, it's way too much division out here. But for people speaking up on this situation, putting their lives at risk, this is a scary game that people playing. I need y'all to listen at Candace Owens and some of the things she had to say recently about Charlie Kirk. And y'all let me know if she putting herself in danger with all this stuff.
Okay. All right. So let's get into how weird these headlines are getting. It's very strange. And I think we know why it's happening. We obviously know why it's happening. But even the publications that are usually not so blatant, because in order to be a propagandist, you want to be effective, right? You got to like lie a little and get people to believe you, not just do things that are just so nakedly deceptive that people go, okay, why am I even reading this publication? Well, the Daily Mail put out this headline about me. I can't even like this. Look at this journalist, Victoria Churchill, who reached out. She writes, Candace Owens rages after being snubbed from the Charlie Kirk Memorial speaking roster.
Hold on, wait a minute. They trying to say she not invited to speak at this man's funeral? And she acted a fool because they wouldn't let her get up there and speak? Is this true or false? Because if it is, she need to put on a vest. She having tantrums about not being able to speak at Charlie Kirk's funeral? Hold on, wait a minute.
Candace Owens rages after being snubbed from the Charlie Kirk Memorial speaking roster. When did this happen? Like, the lying here is actually making me uncomfortable. I told you yesterday that we received way too many emails about Charlie's memorial. All of them were asking specifically for me to confirm that I was going. Didn't feel good to me. It felt very inauthentic. I know these journalists are not my friends. I knew they were writing hit pieces, but all of them included that question. Are you going? Are you going to go? Like, you want me to confirm my attendance so that you know where I'm going to be ahead of time? Am I being paranoid, or does that seem like a little weird? Even on PBD's show.
That shit ain't cool, man. It sound like they trying to catch her ass the wrong place at the right time. They want to make sure she in the building. Just in case somebody out there want to pull another Charlie Kirk and she make it all in the news. I told y'all it's getting dangerous for Candace Owens. She might want to backtrack all that stuff she said just for safety reasons. She might want to step back on a lot of that shit, repent, and join a Baptist church. And take them bangs and put it into a finger wave. Get with Black China. Start over with a new black experience. Pop up at a Sexy Red concert. Cause it's looking like they trying to catch her off guard. Her life is in danger. All of that shit, man. Listen to this.
So Charlie Kirk was shot yesterday at a school in Utah by obviously a white assailant, because there are 3 words that let me know instantly. I can tell you who it is because I can tell you who it ain't. And there are 3 words that let me instantly know it wasn't a black guy, because 3 words are Utah and at large. So how is it that Charlie Kirk wasn't shot in a black city, in a black district, at an HBCU? Why is it that HBCUs are under attack? And I heard a comedian, I saw a comedian who I love and respect say, well, you know, people stalking stuff on Facebook or social media. Social media, there are 41.3 million black people in this country. All of them were talking like that. And there are only roughly 285,000 people that attend HBCUs, and only 73% of them are black. So is it that you know exactly who it was, or is it that any black person will do? The truth of the matter is that in this country, no matter what happens, no matter who does it, America will find a way to point the finger at black people who are thousands of miles away. I don't know if I'm pretty sure there's not an HBCU in all of Utah. But now, because a white guy kills another white guy thousands of miles away, HBCU is under attack, and people will find a way to justify it.
10 years? He replied, counting or not counting gang violence. Then pop, he was about to shift the blame for mass shootings on us. And now for some reason, 8 historically black colleges and universities are under threat. Campus lockdowns and all. All this because Charlie got popped in Utah, where the black population is 1.2%? What is it about whiteness that y'all can never blame yourselves? How did you come to the conclusion that you are as sinless as Christ himself? And now they want to put a statue of Lil Charlie in the U.S. Capitol, comparing him to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Do you know what school Lil Charlie went to? That would give him the authority to speak on religion, to speak on race, to speak on politics. No, you don't. Because Lil Charlie dropped out of Harper College in Chicago. His first claim to fame was stopping a price increase on cookies at his high school. You can't make this up. Then he wrote an article for Breitbart, alleging liberal bias in textbooks.
Man, get this nigga the fuck out of here, man. Get him out of here. Candace Owens, you in a world of trouble. The whole world is watching, and D.L. Hughley is talking about you. If she go to this man's funeral, somebody might beat her ass as soon as she get in there, man. It's gonna be a right wing, a left wing. They're gonna turn her into a chicken wing. I feel bad for Candace Owens. She done talked herself into oblivion. The American people acting like they want to slap the shit, and I don't want to see nothing bad happen to her. For all of the people that got hatred towards Candace Owens, don't blame her, blame your mama. Because that's who you really need to be mad at. Don't blame Candace. You heard your mama when the bill collectors used to call the house and she get all proper and start talking like Candace Owens. Don't blame Candace, blame your mama. Because the way she be acting is the same way your mama be acting when she get to work. Or when she get around them good white folks. And you know I'm telling the truth. D.L. Hughley getting a check off all of this. He getting paid to be a black activist, a black politician. They need somebody to do it. Hell, they said he was a king of comedy. Bernie Mac not still alive. Steve Harvey on the job. He'll get out there and shine some shoes. And I love Steve Harvey. But he gotta do what he gotta do to make that money. 2025 and still wearing them zoot suits. Steve Harvey used to sleep in his car. He was dead broke. You know he willing to play ball. He ain't never trying to go back to being homeless. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. He probably would have slapped the shit out of Candace Owens. He might be her biological father, because the way she controlled that mic and the way her eyes be popping out her head when she be speaking on stage is very reminiscent of Bernie Mac. And that's the problem with the black community. People don't know who's who. Some of y'all laid up with y'all cousin right now. You in the bed holding hands with your cousin right now. Don't even know it. Wonder why your baby slow. Your baby cockeyed. Your baby dancing ain't even no music on. That's because you laid up with your cousin right now. Man, I pray don't nothing happen to Candace Owens, because there's hood rats out there willing to snatch that shit out of her head and put it in their head. Look at this, y'all.
A black person, an Hispanic person, an Asian person, my thought process is, did they just get this because DEI?
The actually worst thing to be in this society, if one thing I would not want to be, is a straight white male. For some reason, that's considered problematic. They're lying on college applications. They're like, okay, I'm white, but I'm also trans. And you're like, what? Because, oh, I don't want people to think I'm too normal, right? And people, they're just trying to find something that makes them not white. It's really staggering to think that is exactly what the experience.
Man, she must be smoking crack. Because every time I fill out an application, I'll be damn near about to check that white box since they asking questions, man. You check that black box, your pay rate, your taxes gonna be all fucked up. She talking about people trying to figure out how not to be white. There's people coming to this country trying to figure out how to be white. The Hispanic people not checking Hispanic in them boxes. She must be smoking dope. Or something is off with this chick. Or they pay her to say she might be an extraterrestrial. Instead of a gray, she a black. Y'all see the way her eyeballs looking? Tell me that don't look like one of them aliens. She might not even be human at this point, but regardless, she's a beautiful Nubian queen. And D.L. Hughley allegedly warned her to shut it up, because it's a possibility you don't want to end up like Charlie Kirk. Don't nobody want to end up like that. So Candace, pipe this shit down. But she's still talking. She's still going on the rampage. I need y'all to listen at this. No, get this shit out of here. No, turn that nigga shit off.
Honoring the dead. Even your Bible says it. This is the America. You will not beat China. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this America cannot beat North Korea.
Boy, Charleston White just went off on that.
Man, get these niggas out of here, man. Get him out of here. No, get his. Don't want to see his face. Get him out of here, man. Get this nigga out of here.
Charlie can't hear shit I'm saying. Charlie's dead. Even your Bible says, let the dead. Why are you guys worshiping and honoring the dead? Even your Bible says it. This is the America. You will not beat China. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this America cannot beat North Korea. These motherfuckers ain't got no Instagram, no fake, none of that shit.
Charleston White on the balcony smoking crack. Giving his political view and everything, man. They'll hire a nigga do any damn thing. I wonder who picked him up on the street and gave him a career. Hey, look, homie, I do whatever you want me to say, man. I just, pay me $25 a month. I get out there, I say anything you want me to say. Look here, homie. Who hired this man? Look at him.
And they feeling these people is ready to hurt somebody. This American is crybaby, whining on this council. Go join the military if you're that angry about Charlie. Make your children go join the military. Matter of fact, go stop rap music. How can you allow rap music to go on this long, laugh at black people, and now you white on white crime come back and bite your always talking about black on black crime. Look how you kill each other. Now look at you white, you killing each other. Look at your white boy transsexual kids shooting up the schools in America. It's not the Mexicans. It's not the Italians. It's not to Afghanistan.
This nigga the real life Uncle Ruckus. They need to make a movie. He got the eyeball and everything, y'all. Now he's an American icon. Dave Chappelle predicted this shit a long time ago. I feel so bad that this is where we at with it in America. It's sickening. Real talk. Listen to this.
A clip from a comedian. I just want to be fully transparent here. D.L. Hughley. I think most consider the DL stands for Down Low Hughley.
Oh my God.
Was on with Don Lemon.
Oh
Two
my
DLs.
God.
Well, Don Lemon's actually not on the Down Low, but Down Low Hughley was on with Don Lemon. And I want you to listen to where this is. D.L. Hughley hosts a nationally syndicated radio show that has some popularity among black listeners and viewers. I want you to listen to the way this man talks about Charlie Kirk, someone I'm sure he's never met, someone that I'm sure he knows virtually nothing about, someone that he's tried to analyze through sound bites, distorted, out of context sound bites about Charlie Kirk. Let's play shot number one.
They bantering the word assassination around. Charlie Kirk was not a political figure. I mean, he might have been influential to political figures. He wasn't a political figure. He wasn't assassinated. He was shot. He was shot. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, that happens to far too many people. But those other two congressmen, they were political figures, and they were shot because of their political beliefs. And it's always, like, we can only have empathy for people if we relate to them, if we spark to them, if we have a tribal connection to them. It is a shame. And the thing that makes me the angriest about this is I always swore that I would never cede my humanity to anybody or any other situation, but that's getting more and more difficult to do, because I certainly don't believe a young man, 31 years old, should have lost his life. But Charlie Kirk was a horrible human being. He said horribly incendiary things. As a matter of fact, he died. The very last words he spoke were basically putting the onus of gun violence on gangs, which is a synonym for synonymous with black people. He blamed the very way he died was lying about black people with his last breath. And I just think the best thing I can say is that I hope he believed what he was saying. I hope he believed that lives being lost were worth it so the Second Amendment can persevere. I hope he believed that there should be a lack of empathy. He was parsing between sympathy. Sympathy means we have a similarity. Empathy means I have nothing to do with you, but I can still feel your pain as a human being. And I hope he believed all the rhetoric he espoused, because if not, that was certainly an empty, vacant way to live, and certainly a horrible way to die.
That's a justification for killing Charlie Kirk. And this is what's prevalent among the left. They're figuring out ways. Hey, Charlie Kirk caught one in the neck, but, he earned it. He said things that I disagreed with. He asked, someone asked a question about mass shootings, and Charlie Kirk asked for context. Now, hey, are we talking about mass school shootings, basically, or are we talking about the kind of everyday gang violence that sometimes...
Yo, I think Black America might want to sit this one out. That's the conclusion I'm coming to. It seemed like the logical thing to do. Whatever your opinion is, don't make it public. Talk about it at the dinner table if you got a family. Black people look idiotic speaking, though. I don't give a damn what their viewpoint is. You wake up and your bed ain't nothing but a bale of cotton. Niggas ain't gonna swallow all them words. This shit about to get flipped upside down. They really about to make America great again. Fuck your opinion. It could be your black ass. If Charlie Kirk caught it like that, just imagine what would happen to Jason Whitlock. This shit ain't cool, man. Somebody in power need to put a stop to this ASAP. They need to make an example out of the dude that pulled the trigger. They need to get all the motherfuckers. They need to get the dude that killed George Floyd. They need to go get Zimmerman's ass, line them up and make them do a boy band repenting for all the shit they do. And make the beat with the electrical shocks that they get while they singing and shit. Make their concerts like torture chambers and shit. They go out, they gotta perform. They getting shocked and shit to the beat. Hammers hitting them all in the head. They need to make entertainment out of these fools since they want to make entertainment out of people's deaths. Candace, I know you listening. Black people tired of talking about your ass. Now is the time to not say another word about this, but she just gonna keep on talking. Listen at this.
Oh, where he just gives a platform to a guest to completely lie for 2 minutes straight. There is this random second where PBD rather oddly says something along the lines of, you don't think she's going to the funeral? Like they keep talking about this. Take a listen again.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there
Ron's
in the
still
room.
reading it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh,
2016.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
They trying to lure her out, y'all. They want her to show up. Sound like they trying to finish the job. Like they got Charlie, but Candace still out there. Bring them out, bring them out. They talking about she ducking. And she looking at them like, I ain't scared. I'll be there. I ain't scared. Don't take the bait, Candace. They make it seem like she shooken. They ain't seen her ass in about 20 years. And she on the internet talking shit. And she in her feelings about this, man. She gonna go to that man's funeral. She gonna get on. They better have a bulletproof glass or something. They gonna have that same screen they have up at the check cashing place. She gonna be exchanging bills and talking about Charlie Kirk at the same time. Hold on, y'all.
You don't
Without
even have to
even
do this,
being
Adam.
biased.
There's a
Is Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question proof that Candace Owens is nothing, has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's
and
not.
now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is so their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
she's not even there.
Yeah, she's not. She's not
there.
one of the names
Wait,
that
you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's
I mean
not the
heir,
funeral.
The heir to
I'm
the
saying
TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
I mean,
Okay, so first and foremost,
Damn. They said Candace Owens ain't shit. And they don't want her to have nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. They don't want her at the funeral. They don't want her speaking on him. They want her to shut up and don't even mention nothing about this man. They got plans for Candace Owens. And that's the craziest part about all of this. They worried about what she got going on. But she brought the attention to herself, man. This the biggest spotlight she had. Now, don't get it twisted. Candace Owens always been big time. But this the type of light that come with bullets behind it. And she might not want this type of flair that they trying to send her way. I say she need to stay in hiding. Don't entertain them people. Keep on getting your bread. And stay out the way. Because anything besides that is putting her life in danger, y'all. Listen.
Experience was for a Black American. That being a Black American is so problematic. Now you have the exact
and a Hispanic person and an Asian person. My thought process is, did they just get this because DEI?
The actually worst thing to be in this society, if one thing I would not want to be, is a straight white male. For some reason, that's considered problematic. They're lying on college applications. They're like, okay, I'm white, but I'm also trans. And you're like, what? Because, oh, I don't want people to think I'm too normal, right? And people, they're just trying to find something that makes them not white. It's really staggering to think that is exactly what the experience was for a Black American, that being a Black American was so problematic. Now you have the exact same thing happening reverse, and you have liberals trying to convince you that that's equality. All lives matter, and that's including white lives matter,
Now, unfortunately, the comments under Hughley's mini post.
Okay, let's get back to this. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go.
The United States of America. He was a candidate at that time. In 2 times in the same month. But nothing has changed other than our pointing of fingers. If we want to make America safer, if we want to stop the rash of gun deaths, we have to decide that it's important enough for us to do it. And what they've decided is the gun lobby and whatever their personal ideologies are more important. The only thing, when I look at these people, the only freedom that these people seem to want is unfettered access to weapons and freedom to tell women what to do with their bodies. That's not freedom at all. I don't think that there's people get mad when I say this. I don't think that there's a substantive difference between religious fundamentalists, Islamist religious fundamentalists, and Christian nationalists. I don't think there's a big difference, because what they're doing in that part of the world, they'd like to do here. They would like to be able to do all they do here. What stops them is certain areas where it's not palatable, but they would run the world the way they do.
Devastating. Hughley proves that Kirk was a casualty of the exact system of violence that...
Yo, I heard that. Everything he had to say right there. Shout out to D.L. Hughley. They calling him Rafiki from The Lion King because his words are so bold and pronounced. And I feel like people need to take heed to a lot of the stuff he's saying, because he the only Black voice out there that's really talking like this. Unless you want to listen to what this dude got to say. Listen.
I do know that every white person is a racist. So what is the difference, Dr. Umar? Rule number 1, all white people are racist. What is the difference between the white bigot and the white racist? The difference is simply that the bigot hates you for being Black.
Man, wash your ass before you start saying this stuff in public, Umar. At least be presentable, my G. We're gonna take the word of a man that don't look like he don't even wash his ass. Do he own a Rolex? It's hard to take him seriously, man. He said that all white people are racist. He said he know that for sure, indefinitely. Well, if that's the case, all Black people racist towards Black people, including Dr. Umar Johnson. You see how he do people that donate to him, but $1 ain't good enough, $5 ain't good enough. Your broke ass niggas, give me $100 plus. I don't want to hear what Umar got to say no more. Now, if he had on a business suit with a bust down rollie, sitting on top of a Bugatti, and he had all his ducks in a row with the school open and all that shit, he'd come out his mouth and say something like that, then that would be a boss move. Man got on a sweaty orange tee, beard looking like Dookie, face sweaty, background musky. I don't want to hear nothing he's talking about. Listen to this, y'all.
First, I just want to toss it to Michael Savage. Take a listen.
The so-called FBI, something's wrong. Let me tell you something. That's the rhetoric that's going to get people killed, Candace. Shut your mouth. Period. And don't link me. I don't need you. I've been around long before you.
This nigga said, period. Said, Candace, shut the fuck up. You gonna get people killed. Period. Like, don't mention my name. He already know them shots coming, man. People not even trying to stand around Candace Owens. When she go into Whole Foods, she go to the checkout line. Ain't nobody in the goddamn store. She looking around like, hello. She got her apples in the basket, her saltine crackers. Anybody here, hello? When she come around, they get low. Said, if you get jammed up, don't mention my name. Hold on, look.
Take a listen.
The so-called FBI, something's wrong. Let me tell you something. That's the rhetoric that's going to get people killed, Candace. Shut your mouth. Period. And don't link me. I don't need you. I've been around long before you. I don't need your goddamn audience to follow me. They can all go themselves if that's the they believe in. And I don't give a damn if you don't like me cursing. I've had enough of this.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
This is going to be spicy. The other day, Candace Owens referred to Michael Savage, who is on the Mount Rushmore of talk radio. She referred to him and his concerns about the FBI investigation into Charlie Kirk. And she used a clip of his as if to kind of sound like she was in agreement with him.
Hold on, get this nigga out of here.
Let's get into what we know about the Charlie Kirk assassination thus far in terms of what the authorities are telling us. First, I just want to toss it to Michael Savage because the energy of this, what Michael Savage had to say about everything that we're hearing is pretty much all of us right now. Take a listen.
The so-called FBI, something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against this FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw video.
Hold on, wait. Candace gave him an alley-oop, and he told her to go, and her audience to go F themselves. He said he don't want Candace's support. Keep my name out your fucking mouth and keep me off your podcast. Candace Owens get millions and millions of views. He don't give a fuck. He ain't rocking with Candace Owens, man. She thinking that these people her friends and they could be partners and they ain't trying to share their barbecue with you. You get to spitting up their potato salad, they gonna get offended. Candace Owens hop her ass in the pool with all their kids and shit. They gonna clean that damn pool with a toothbrush. She need to wait. She need to just leave it alone, man. Like homie said, keep my name out your mouth, period. Whatever Candace Owens on, I ain't with it. She gonna have to wake up sooner or later.
A person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mauser does not break down very easily, incidentally, for those of you who know weapons. Something's wrong with the whole thing. They're trying to claim he removed the barrel from the Mauser and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and barrel in his pants leg all in 2 seconds. It is not easy to remove a Mauser barrel or index it after reinstalling and remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after killing Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and he leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find. I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the bullshit from this fucking government. It's lying to us. Something's wrong. Something's so wrong. It's sickening.
Sickening is definitely the right adjective, I think, to describe how a lot of us are feeling. And all I know how to do is to gather information, to research, and to investigate. And nothing is making sense.
Oh, that shit scared the shit out of me. Wait a minute, what's happening? She dead? What the hell? Come on. Man, they gotta quit playing these games, man. I thought something happened to Candace Owens. Thought the Undertaker came out and got her ass, yo. This really got me over here thinking, y'all. and I want to share what's on my mind. Because politics been going on since the beginning of times in ancient Rome and Egypt and shit. It's always been politics and things. But man, I wonder what Abraham Lincoln had to go through, man. I know they talked about his ass crazy. And he heard every goddamn thing they said too. Look at his ears. Like, I hear you talking about me. He knew what they were saying about him on the plantations. They said that he Jim Carrey great-great-great-great-grandfather, and that's the only reason why they let him on and live in color. Now, I don't know if these rumors are true, but like I said, people been gossiping and spreading rumors for a long-ass time. I know he went through some shit when they didn't know what the hell he was. They put his black ass on the penny. They chewing on them pig knuckles and them peanuts and shit. Take a picture while he chewing on the greens, talking about free the slaves. I got a woman way over town. That's good to me. Oh, yeah. Get that motherfucker a piano and a banjo. They said the dude Kramer was inspired. We got to get back to Candace Owens. I ain't about to keep but I just wanted to show y'all what was on my mind. We got some more serious things to talk about. Y'all need to listen at this. Look.
Welcome to the Savage Nation. It's very late at night. I've been resisting doing a broadcast today. I started in my mind to write 3 of them. But this is the only one I want to talk about. It'll be very brief. I didn't know who Candace Owens was. I know she had a large following.
God damn.
I know the right wing loved her. And suddenly she started to link my commentary to her site, and we got a lot of visitors through Candace Owens.
Oh, my God.
So the more I looked into it, the realization occurred to me that she is nothing different than a black racist. Now, let's just use logic for 2 minutes and I'll put to rest the lies that Candace Owen is putting out about Jews. And she's going to wind up getting Jews killed if she keeps it up. Let me be very clear. She's not nuts. She's not nuts at all. She just has latched on to a methodology to get morons to listen to her and tries to put pieces together that don't match. So she says that Netanyahu killed Charlie Kirk, or Israel killed Charlie Kirk, more specifically. Well, let me ask you something. If that was true, how long do you think Candace Owens would be breathing? If Netanyahu and Mossad is so all-powerful and so demonic that they could kill people in Lebanon with exploding pagers, they can kill people in Iran who develop nuclear.
Did he just say exploding pagers? They still got pagers over there in Lebanon? Like, page me, buddy. Did you page me earlier, did you? I got your page. What's happening, buddy? They still paging each other. They blow your ass up with a pager. You check the phone, that should say 911. Next thing you know, your whole damn car blow up. Maybe I heard that wrong. Listen.
How long do you think Candace Owens would be breathing? If Netanyahu and Mossad is so all-powerful and so demonic that they could kill people in Lebanon with exploding pagers, they can kill people in Iran who develop nuclear weapons, but they can't get to Candace Owens?
But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20.
Some Palookaville nobody who dropped out of college, who has no degrees and claims she has 2 degrees. Yes, that matters. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We had enough of Al Sharpton. We had enough of, who was that preacher? Who I don't even see if he's around anymore. The black nationalist preacher. He preached the same for years. the Jews did this, the Jews did that. Let me tell you something. That's the rhetoric that's going to get people killed, Candace. Shut your mouth.
Oh, shit.
Period. And don't link me. I don't need you. I've been around long before you. I don't need your goddamn audience to follow me. They can all go themselves if that's the they believe in. And I don't give a damn if you don't like me cursing. I've had enough of this. Charlie Kirk loved Israel. He spoke highly of Israel.
Oh, somebody about to cut him a big-ass check. He about to be eating good tonight. Like, that's right, stick it to Candace. Fuck that bitch. He gonna be stunting in a Rolls Royce the next time you see him. You gonna pull up at the light, he gonna be plucking fish tails and shit, shrimp tails out the damn car. Gonna be honking the horn, he gonna be getting it popping with that blue cheese and that ranch. Pull up on his ass at the light, all you gonna hear is lean back. Now lean back. He getting it popping with a 20-piece. He said, fuck Candace Owens, man. And you know what? A lot of people agree with him. Cause she ain't nothing but a big-headed bigot. According to the people on the internet, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She was Charlie Kirk's pet. And now she ain't got no master. She out here running loose. She barking all on the internet. She mourning Charlie Kirk. And we all are, man. You know, R.I.P. to him. But Candace, she off the chain with this shit. She gonna get her wake-up call real soon. They already plotting on how they gonna do her ass, and it's gonna be some ridiculous news. It was a poisonous watermelon grown at this farm. I never had problems with my watermelons before. They were always good. They always sold out every season. Even though this watermelon patch never had any problems, coincidentally, the watermelon that Candace Owens purchased was poisoned. They're going to have her on live eating. Oh, this is amazing. There's no seeds. There's no nothing. This is just good. This is great. I love this. Is my favorite fruit. Tragically, Candace Owens succumbed to a poisonous watermelon. They looking for some old bullshit to tie her into. D.L. Hughley turning into a whole dog. And people not listening at him howl like they used to. They say he was the weakest comedian on the Kings of Comedy. Now he's speaking on politics. Because the comedy thing ain't working like that. Look at this. And I love D.L. Hughley. You had Cedric the Entertainer. Can't tell me he not funny. Look, he look like some stank in the damn picture. He look like he keeping it funky. You gotta love Cedric the Entertainer, man. You got Steve Harvey, Michael B. Jordan's father. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And Lori Harvey's biological father. We did a video on that. Who is also very funny. He's a motivational speaker. Steve Harvey been known to hold down about 3-4 jobs. And this is the king of comedy. Of all comedy. Bernie motherfucking Mac. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. He the king. But D.L. Hughley, now that's the debate that we gonna save for another video, man. I don't remember shit he said on the Kings of Comedy. I remember Steve Harvey talking about gospel music and potato salad. I remember Cedric the Entertainer did the joke about the Cadillac and the mechanic smoking the cigarettes. I remember Bernie Mac's whole set, his from top to bottom. Bernie, that shit was crazy. I don't recall not one D.L. Hughley joke. Did they let him go first? I think they did. I don't even remember it, man. They don't even play his part on the Kings of Comedy. I think people fast forward the DL Hughley part and go straight to said Steve Harvey and I could be different strokes for different folks. You know, it's probably people out there that feel like DL Hughley had the best part. Me, I don't remember it. And if y'all do, y'all let me know. But one thing I do remember is him going off. Damn them lips. Is him going off on Candace Owens and speaking his mind about the Charlie Kirk situation. Y'all need to listen to this, man. No, y'all need to hear this. Look.
Took a white person's spot. Watch this and let's talk about it.
You really have to wonder. In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own.
Damn, that's fucked up, yo. That's all the way fucked up. And Candace Owens, man. This where we at with it, y'all. Politics are important because you can get a bullet in your ass and you need to be careful. Depending on what your views are, man. Well, this is what I want to know. What political views will make everybody happy? What is something that we all can agree on? A narrative that we all can have that will keep people from resorting to gun violence? What is it going to take to make everybody happy in this country? That's a good question, man. It seems like if one group happy, the other group ain't happy. The only way people could be happy is if they see other people suffering. Is that what it is? God forbid some poor people come up on some money and actually be happy. But the truth of the matter is, money don't make you happy because some of the richest people in the country is some of the most miserablest people. Got all of the advantages, all of the opportunities, and still mad about some people that can't even get ahead. Seem like people ain't never gonna be happy. Is it safe to say that it's time for people to separate? The men live with the men and the women live with the women? It'll be Pride Month every damn day. Fucking Pride Week, man, it'd be Pride Day every day. If that happened. These niggas would be out here windmill fighting in the street about nothing. Like, where my lip gloss? Bet my lip gloss. That'd be terrible. I don't think we need to separate. Because if, in this state and time, if all the blacks live with the blacks, wouldn't shit get done? You be calling the postal service, where the fuck is my mail? Like, he right down the street. You go down the street, it ain't a nigga in sight. You be looking for the mail truck. That motherfucker in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru with the mail truck. Where all your mail, you got to pull up on him, pull him over, do a citizen's arrest just to get your damn mail. If all the white people live together, that should probably turn into one of them Wes Craven movies. Like, who's the killer? Like, I could have swore it was you. Let me see your hands. Like, all I have is these apples. There's nothing in my hands. That should be one of them, no goddamn Hallmark movies. Like, you said you were coming home. Like, I was home with my other family. What if all the Hispanics live with the Hispanics? They might go deaf with that music, man. They ain't gonna have nobody around to say, cut that shit off. I think we need each other, y'all. I think we all need each other. If the Asians was left with the Asians, everybody was kung fu fighting, and it was fast as like people would be getting their ass kicked. You don't know who's a Shaolin master when you got other nationalities around. They all out there practicing their kata and shit. Now that's a force to be reckoned with. We're gonna have to, I don't know. I think we need each other at the end of the day. Cause who gonna work them registers at the black grocery stores? Who gonna mop them goddamn floors? You can't hire a crackhead for every damn thing. I think we need each other, y'all. And what it's gonna take for Americans to wake up and realize that we do good together, man. We all contribute things to the pot. Even if it is some bullshit every now and then. I mean, I'm proud to be an American. I don't know about y'all. I like getting that good white customer service. I don't give a fuck if it is phony. And I love asking brothers for directions. You ain't got no directions or no good directions unless you got it from a brother. Because he gonna go into his own personal navigation system. And he gonna make sure you get to where he take pride in giving directions. A brother stop doing everything he doing just to give you some good. And if he don't know, he gonna figure it out before he tell you he don't know. A brother ask somebody else for directions for you just to give you the right directions. Like, hey man, you know how to get to Main Street? Main Street, I don't know. Hey man, hey, do you know how to get to Main Street? He'll have the nigga whisper it in his ear so he can come back and tell you how to get there. We all bring something to the table. They need to snap out of this BS. And money ain't gonna solve everything. Because some people get money and it ruin their life. That crack get real good when you got money to some people out there. It be a motherfucker sober for 20 years. Come up on some money, now they back in the crack house. Laid out on the floor looking ridiculous. Kids at home crying. Like, where's my mama? And we got your mama, shorty. She right upstairs. You go upstairs, your mom laid on the floor with her drawers over her head with a crack pipe in her mouth. Money ain't gonna solve everything. Candace Owens issuing an apology to women. I don't know if they still do step shows and have step teams and shit, but Candace Owens needs to show up to one of them step shows and apologize to all the colored girls in attendance for some of the stuff she said. Like, first of all, I want to apologize for being a big-headed bigot bitch. They'd be like, all right, Candace, all right. We see you, girl. And first of all, I gotta let this be known, even though a lot of you may not believe me, I actually love being black. Like, that's right, girl, you better tell it now. And one of my favorite slogans of all times is, I wish a bitch would. Like, you better go, girl, you better tell that shit, Candace. Like, Candace, girl, I heard what you said with the apology and everything, but my rent is due. My baby daddy, yeah, he in jail, and I got these kids, Candace, and I know you doing real good on your platform, and sometimes apology just ain't enough. Like, do you think it's something you could do for me and my sister because our mama, our mother not doing good, Candace? You think we could borrow a couple of G's? Can you imagine a nigga trying to holler at Candace Owens? Like, yo, ma, yo, what it is? I'm just saying, yo, Candace. Like, as if. Like, you're so not my type. What if Candace Owens get knocked up by a black dude? And she be forced to have his baby? And he don't want nothing to do with the baby. Her podcast will go to shit. And that's how I don't understand how Cardi B still got a platform and she keep getting knocked up over and over, can't even barely put an album out. But people support the foolishness, you know what I'm saying? So with people like Candace Owens, is damned if she do, damned if she don't. But either way, I don't want to see nothing happen to the sister. D.L. Hughley, an old coyote, going on and on, howling at the moon about black rights and all this bullshit. He's just an old black entertainer. I think they giving him a check just to speak on this shit, man. Y'all listen to Uncle D.L. Hughley.
The indictment is complete on a political level. But where did this ideology come from? Well, for the next bit, Hughley zooms out, becoming a historian and a sociologist. He performs an autopsy on the intellectual foundations of the entire movement, exposing the racism and anti-intellectualism that has been there from the very beginning. This is the final piece of the puzzle.
Hear from him in a moment, but I want to play this. This is D.L. I really want you to respond to this. This is a Charlie Kirk on black people and civil rights.
We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk's self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. Yeah, and it's very simple. So how do you love somebody? You love them so much to correct their error. Yeah. And so let's just, take the pride conversation out because people think it's an identification, which it's not. It's just sexual behavior. But it's if you meet an alcoholic or you meet a drug addict, do you affirm their struggle? No. You say, you're better than this. Let's get you free from that. Let's get you free from that activity. Now, we don't know what part Elon is saying is the actual truth. So let's go through this. Again, it's double negatives and misuse of the word disinterested. It's a strange tweet that Elon pinpointed on here. But the first part is absolutely true. Let's go to this. Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Now, I don't like generalizations. Not every Jewish person believes that. But it is true, the Anti-Defamation League was part and parcel with Black Lives Matter. It is true that some of the largest financiers of left-wing, anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans. They went all in on woke, and it wasn't just ADL. It was some of the top Jewish organizations in the country that have done that. In fact,
we have seen this with the recent retreat of Jewish donations that are no longer going to be administered to colleges, right? Mark
Okay,
Rowan,
so we
Leon
get
Copperman.
we
Can
get the
that?
picture of what he's talking about there. He's talking about black people, the civil rights movement. That was a mistake. Gay people, you know, problematic. Jewish people, apparently he's saying killers.
But he never really had to say why it was a mistake. And ultimately, it's a mistake because, in his estimation, I would imagine, because this country, and I think to his ear, was just for white people. And black people serve their purpose, and everybody else who's not them serve their purpose. I would just say this. America, this is America having to come to grips with the promise it made. It said,
You want to know what it is, man? I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Somehow, black people forgot about that 400 years of slavery in a short period of time. But white people never forgot. That shit is still as clear as day. It's never a time where they think it never happened or it never existed. They always know. They always remember. Somewhere, somehow, black people just oblivious to the fact. Can you imagine what happened over the past 100 years? I'm talking about the whole 1900s, niggas was free. We done went from the 1910s, 1920s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Now we in the 2000s, 2010, we in the 2020s. Imagine that times 4. That's a long ass time, man. But somehow, somewhere, people just got amnesia. When black people hear about slavery, it's sort of like a fairy tale. Since you ain't never experienced it firsthand. But to other people, to understand the situation and where we at now, that's the difference, man. I think people need to wake the fuck up. And stop being avatars, man. We got a bunch of creative characters out here. Look at D.L. Hughley. Look at his hand. Look at his neck. He looked like somebody uploaded him to 2K and put him in the game. People don't even take themselves seriously nowadays. Everybody a character or whatever the case. And ain't nothing wrong with expressing yourself. But it's a lot deeper than what people making. People think this shit is a game, think it's a game, think it's a game, think it's a game. At least that's my personal opinion about it. But do people need to lose their lives for having their own personal opinions? I don't think so, man. We about to cool out for a second. I gotta get me something to drink. I've been hard at work on this because there's a lot of things that I don't know when it comes to politics, but the more I get into it, the more I do my research, I see that politics is way more ratchet than hip-hop news. For the longest, I was like, I need to get out of this hip-hop news. This shit ignorant. Hip-hop news is it's low class. I was thinking all this stuff. These celebrities ain't shit. But now that I'm getting my feet wet with politics, this shit is way more ratchet. Not only is they beefing, but they killing each other, man. In public places. And it don't even call for all that. But nowadays it do. This might be the most dangerous time to get into politics. Somebody go upside your head because of your political views. Let's take it a little deeper. Let's take it a step further, shall we? since we getting educated and stuff. Let's be upfront and exact. Politics, the activities associated with the governance of a country or other area, especially the debate or conflict among individuals or parties having or hoping to achieve power. That is terrible. Politics in itself is dangerous. It's a competitive thing. It need to be a sport. If you're not into football, you're not into basketball, you're not into baseball, but you're into politics, you still into sports. Because the left wing versus the right wing, that's like the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference. They at each other's head for sport. And I'm starting to think it ain't no deeper than that. People just pumping their chest out. They running with a gang. It's tribal at the end of the day. People do crazy things to justify their political views and feel justified for doing some of the most heinous things. Look, politics, activities within an organization that are aimed at improving someone's status or position and are typically considered to be devious or divisive. If that ain't the motherfucking truth, because that's all I've been seeing. People saying I'm better than you because, and this is why I deserve this and that, and this is why you don't deserve this and that. Then the other people say, well, since you feel that way, that only proves that I'm this much better than you and I deserve this and that and you don't deserve this and that. So it's a never-ending debate. And I think this is what college campuses is based off. This is American society in a nutshell, and people feel like they got to get in where they fit in. You ask a person their viewpoints, well, I'm liberal. What the fuck do that mean? Liberal. Look, when you come across a person and be like, well, I'm liberal, and they say that shit in front of a big salad, it means willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas, relating to or denoting a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. It sounds like a flirty motherfucker to me. A supporter of policies that are socially progressive and promote social welfare. A supporter of a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. Sound like a social groupie to me. Like, sure, I'm with it. Okay, where's the back room? Okay, let's go. Woo. If she ever say she's a liberal, she probably was a stripper back in the day. And then they'd be like, if they don't say I'm liberal, they'll say I'm conservative. Let's get into that. Conservative, averse to change, or innovation and holding traditional values like make America great again. In the political context, favoring free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas. Now, I ain't picking no motherfucking cotton. Let's get that clear right now. You be as conservative as you want. The only hoe I'm picking up is the one in the strip club. A person who is averse to change and holds traditional values. A person favoring free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas. They ain't trying to share a breadcrumb with a nigga. What does it mean if you're a conservative? Conservatives in the United States historically view individual liberty within the bounds of conservative values as the fundamental trait of democracy. They typically believe in a balance between federal government and state rights. They serious about that shit. Better move out the way when them pickup trucks come rolling by, man, because they not gonna stop. Like, I stand my fucking ground. Better yet, I stand my gas. He was in the street, I stand to my gas. Put it in the law. I don't give a damn if it'll make it a law tonight. Like, I ain't going to jail. Like, Bill is a friend of ours. You know, he's known in the community. You know, he's standing his gas. We're going to write that into law. Like, that motherfucker hit me. Okay, what about, y'all can see I ain't give a damn about social studies. Democracy. I spelled that all fucked up. Look. Democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of the state, typically through elected representatives. A state governed by democracy. I'm gonna use that shit next time I get mad. This is a motherfucking democracy. Control of an organization or group by the majority of its members. The practice or principles of social equality. So if you ain't with it, you ain't with it. If you don't fit in, you gotta get in where you fit in. This is a democracy. Democracy is a system of government where power is held by the people, either directly or through elected representatives. The word itself comes from the Greek demos, people, and kratos, power. Oh, this some old God of War shit right here. Meaning power of the people. In a democracy, citizens have a say in how their country is run, typically by voting in free and fair elections to choose leaders and influence decisions. So if you black, and you voting and all that shit, but hey, we're gonna save that for another video. I feel like people need to do it, make them happy. But a lot of people in America not happy, man. So we're gonna have to figure it out together. Hold on, y'all need to listen at this. Listen at this, man. Hold on.
The racist simply wants to secure complete and total domination of resources, opportunities, and privileges for their own in-group. That's it. Racism is the business of monopolizing things that matter in the hands of white people. So a racist can like black people. A racist can listen to rap. A racist can sleep with you, marry you, have children with you, hang out with you. A racist can be your best friend if you so believe that. A racist can come around you, eat your chicken, your watermelon, whatever you want to do. This is why black people get so confused by the behavior of Europeans. This is why black people get so confused by the behavior of Europeans, because you think you have to hate me to be a racist. Get that out of your mind. No one has to hate you to be a racist. How many of you have had white people who cared about you to some extent still practice racism against you, and now you're totally confused?
Well, shit, that's every black person in America, Dr. Umar. Shit, it don't get no more racist than a black person if that's what you talking, man. Motherfucker feed you food and still tell you your daddy ain't shit. Motherfucker get pregnant by you and still call you a big head nigga. Hey, Peanut. Why would somebody talk about somebody's head like that to their face? That's the reason why his school never popped off. He need to accept the fact that he's the biggest racist when it comes to black people. Therefore, we are our own worst enemies. And he definitely our worst enemy. It's time for a reality check, man. People need to really look in the mirror. People so focused on another motherfucker and don't realize that they got them, they look all fucked up. Look at his head. He needs some self-love in his life. Some self-appreciation. He worried about this motherfucker more than he worried about his damn self. That's the problem, man. People be so concerned about what other people got going on and not willing to take accountability and put that self-love up in it. I'm sick of it, man. Candace Owens, you're gonna have to watch your back, baby. Because these people out here is not happy with nothing you or Charlie Kirk ever had to say. But she's still running her mouth. Listen at this.
Why did they all want to know if I was going to this event? I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying invite? Anybody can go to it. You just buy a ticket to the event. And you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope, actually, you know, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now. I mean, I'm not going to this memorial because it's strange. To lie like this is very strange. For context, just so you can realize how odd this is, I spoke at Turning Point's conference, 2 conferences last year. It's so easily, like I said, debunkable that you have to ask yourself why they are saying it. Here is me speaking on Turning Point USA's stage last year. And here's what I said, by the way, which got Charlie in a lot of trouble.
This is the world's...
Hold on, y'all. Let me get this together for y'all. Hold up.
Well, let me tell you something, America. It does feel so good to go everywhere in the world and to realize that there is awakening, not just happening here. Let me tell you guys, it's happening all across the globe. People are starting to ask the hard questions. And you know you start getting close when they start to call you names. They instantly want to suggest that there's something wrong and there's something backwards about being America first. You're starting to hear the way they're framing that now. When you say you're America first, they'll ask you, what do you mean you're America first? Do you mean that you're an isolationist? Do you believe that we shouldn't have did what we did during World War II? All of these things trying to pollute it. It's not that difficult. America first. First name America, last name first. We put this country's interests before the interests of foreign countries overseas. All of them. I don't care.
Yeah, it kind of went on and on, but it was kind of me saying, especially since 3 months earlier, I had gotten fired from the Daily Wire, like, Israel, you're not special. And yeah, Charlie got in trouble for the stuff that I said on stage. And then they came inward. I told that I was not allowed to speak at AmFest. The donors were making threats. But like, I went on tour with Turning Point last year. It's so on their website. It's so, this is like the strangest thing. We could pull up this website. Live Free Tour, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Quiet breakup. Why are we doing this? It's very strange. Here's all the places that we went to last year. Now they are pushing these headlines that are so...
I never seen delusion this thick. This worse than that movie, Ma. Y'all ever seen that? It's sickening knowing that there's people out there like that. Hey, y'all brothers out there, you gotta be careful. You don't know who the fuck you dealing with, man. It's time to start judging a book by its cover. Look at this shit. Like, what you say about Kirk? Don't talk about my Charlie. Man, it's some loony bin motherfuckers out here, man. You snatch that wig off, all you gonna see is that stocking cap with them cornrows. If that ain't scary, I don't know what the fuck is. Whew, this shit got me. Man. How you doing, white boy? Like, I got secrets. Like, my husband don't have to know. My husband don't have to know. How about I come over there, clean your house, you know, make you some pancakes with my famous syrup, baby. Like, sure, whatever, ma. Like, don't tell your parents. Like, y'all boys look like y'all want some of my famous fried chicken, yeah. I do a mean two-step in the kitchen, baby. And let me tell you, just don't tell my husband. Just don't tell my husband. It's a whole lot of Candace Owenses, man. This shit's spooky. Hold on, what she do? She's like, yes. She all over that white girl. Like, let me tell you something, you fine motherfucker. I mean, they just obsessed. I can't stop. Have anybody ever seen this movie, man? I'm afraid to watch it because I got an auntie that look just like that, man. It's gonna ruin my child. It's gonna ruin my childhood. But yeah, man, some weird sisters out here. Some of y'all with your sworn enemy and don't even know it. You come home, the police waiting outside. I didn't call the police. I don't even have the number. How do I even get in contact with the police? I didn't call the police. Like every time I go around that bitch, something bad start happening, man. They be plotting on brothers. Listen to this.
Far beyond the realm of reality, like the one that I just showed you, where they say that I'm angry. And then when you look into who's writing these articles, like Victoria Churchill, you note that she has a connection to AIPAC. So AIPAC is pushing this, right? The answer is implied by the people who are attacking me. They are all ultra-Zionists, right? Like I said, the author of that article is an ultra-Zionist. And here she is starting.
Hold on, wait a minute. When I said I got an auntie that look like this, I ain't talking about my favorite auntie, man. I got a couple of aunties. Now, my favorite auntie is a straight up and down queen. But them other ones, the ones I don't really know like that, man, I can't trust they ass, man. You just never know. I guess you gotta look for that crazy look in their eye, man. Candace Owens not the only one of her kind, but either way, D.L. Hughley had a lot of stuff to say about that. Listen.
That all men were created. It said that this, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masters, young. It asked for this. Black people didn't come here because there was a job fair we heard about. America had an opportunity to be just a white, a Christian country, but it couldn't handle it on its own. It had to bring other people in. And this is the America as currently constructed, which is really been consistent. America's always needed poor black and brown people to do its physical labor, and now it needs poor brown people to do its intellectual labor. So in America, if you won't pick an apple and you can't write an app, you're shit out of luck. And the problem is that we are the average American reads, the country, the average reading level is the 5th grade. They're angry that they have squandered their forefathers' inheritance, and they need somebody to blame. They always have looked for somebody to blame. So I think the civil rights movement certainly had its problems, but to say that it shouldn't have happened, what would your alternative be? For us to stay where we were? He was. This is a man who didn't even finish, ever graduate from college, but he's maligning he hasn't seen a black person apparently who's ever achieved anything from a merit perspective. They've always been set-asides and handouts.
Yo, the hell what he talking about? I think it's all about how people eat at the end of the day. Cause I seen people that eat like some straight up dogs. And then you got people that eat real nice and neat. They had a fork. They take little bites at a time, chew their food. They don't be rushing. They only need a little bit on the plate. Then you got people that see that little bit of food on the plate and get mad. Like, where the rest of it at? Some people, you gotta pile their plate to the top just so they could put a smile on their face. And they not gonna chew that shit. they're gonna swallow it whole and wonder why they back and shit be acting up. That's the only difference on how a motherfucker eat his food. If you see somebody lean their head in and bite into that, turn their head to the side to bite a sandwich, and when they pull their head back, all you see is that mayonnaise on the side of their face. And before they could think of what to do next, they rammed a handful of fries in their mouth before they even got finished chewing the damn burger. Fuck around, eat the whole meal, then want to take something to drink. Don't forgot to drink. Swallow that shit dry, like a snake. You could still see the lumps of food in their throat. They get up dizzy, gotta sit back down. Next thing you know, the nigga sleep. That's how you could tell an ignorant motherfucker. It ain't got nothing to do with race. I seen a white boy at the mechanic take some toast and fill that shit up with some grits like it was a taco. He ate that shit and told me to come back the next day to get my car. I showed back up the next day. This nigga took a pancake, folded it like a burrito with some eggs in it, and he was too lazy to change the tire on my motherfucking car. That's when I snapped. It ain't got nothing to do with race. It got everything to do with how a motherfucker eat his food. I'm telling you, man. Some people eat their shit bloody. The food be leaking with blood. They slurping the blood. They licking the blood off the plate like a dog. Don't even cook the meat. I seen them take a steak and cook that shit with an ironing board and ate it just like that, talking about the meat more tender when it ain't cooked. When he bit into the steak, I seen the fangs almost bit his damn lip. Nigga mouth, I thought it was the blood from the steak. It was his mouth bleeding because of them damn fangs, because he was eating that raw ass meat. It ain't got nothing to do with race. Just look how if somebody take 5 Dunkin' Donuts and smash it down to make one donut, that might be an ignorant motherfucker you dealing with. The lady at the gas station got chocolate all over my money because her greedy ass eating the Milky Way. I forgot they even made Milky Ways. They need to quit all of this killing in the name of politics because it's ignorant. Candace Owens, you're going to have to shut it down for a little while. Let this thing cool down. Let it blow over. They targeting her. They trying to place everything Charlie Kirk ever did and put it on Candace Owens' back. And I don't think she's going to be able to take the pressure, man. Listen at this.
Off 2018 in DC, and she's got a picture of herself. If you can scroll down, I don't know if you can see this, like sitting in the audience in AIPAC, and she's thrilled. America, Israel. It's like all of these people are agents for a foreign country. And I feel like Bibi Netanyahu is spending a lot of money right now. He is just way too involved, concerned about Turning Point USA, the future of Turning Point USA, attacking Candace Owens. And I think something sinister is going on here. How can you not see that? I also want to say this. I have had a flood of Turning Point employees reach out to me. Maybe because he says she would have been the natural heir to Turning Point USA. I'm not trying to be the heir to Turning Point USA. I kind of like my life. I don't want to take money from donors, okay? Because they do what they did to Charlie. They're not donating money to charity because they view it as a charity. They're doing it because they want to purchase your voice. That's it. And I don't want to give mine up. But what these people are telling me is a very dark story that involves these donors, sponsors, influencers, a takeover of sorts that I think was happening right under Charlie's nose. And I want to say this formally as we keep investigating this. I believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by people who are close to him. Based on what I have seen thus far, the evidence, the quote unquote receipts that require a way deeper investigation into the apparatus, the financial apparatus at Turning Point, there was definitely some weird activity leading up to this moment happening at the organization, and I've been able to verify it. I have been given names, and I intend to now embark on this lengthier investigation, which I need more help on. I've reached out to some journalists.
Leave that shit alone, Candace. I'm trying to tell you, this ain't your fight, baby. This ain't your fight. Come on home, Candace, while you still can. Go on, sit on Big Mama lap in the rocking chair on the front porch. Get you a tall glass of lemonade and sit this one out. Come on home, even if it's for a little while. You don't want to risk your life for this bullshit. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. It ain't worth it. All they gonna do is make news and entertainment out of you. Already an entertainer. And that's basically what all this is. It's entertainment. Ain't nothing deep about politics. Not at this point. People figuring out ways to get their misery into the minds of other people. Creating confusion and destruction to get a bankroll. Worse than selling crack. It's terrible. People's views and ideologies and religious, political, all that shit will drive somebody insane. Because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same. That should be the message in all of this. All that talk that they talking don't matter. When some freak out there decide that they want to take your life. DL Hughley need to be careful too. Cause he doing a whole lot of talking out here. If something happened to DL Hughley, Foot Locker better lock their motherfucking doors. The Louis Vuitton store better put some extra chains on the damn gate. Let something happen to DL Hughley, they gonna have to put them Jordans in an armored truck. Ain't no love out here. I'm gonna keep on going with this politics and all these politics and shit. I'm gonna keep on going with it because I'm starting to see what it's all about. I see through the matrix. I see what's going on. A bunch of people lurking for attention, giving a whack-ass life validation with a bunch of nonsense. At the end of the day, who can beat whose ass? Cut through the chase, man. They need to put up a boxing ring out there. Fuck your opinion. They get in that ring, you talking all that. See if you could whoop somebody's ass. They need to turn politicians into UFC fighters. Your word don't mean shit. And for the people that disagree with a politician, get in the octagon with his ass. That's what they need to do. Fuck a political debate. Take the gloves off. Mano or mano. You think you better than somebody? Well, try beating their ass. A lot of men out here get manhandled by some females. I'm talking big buff niggas in the gym all week niggas get their ass handed to them by a single mother of 4. Candace Owens, you might want to sit this one out. I'm over it, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. I got so much love for y'all. We gonna be back with more politics. All y'all gotta do is stay tuned. I'ma holler at y'all